Welcome back to NATCH Chat. I'm here in the studio with Therese Hall and Kathy Rollins, both who are with the LTP program. And it sounds really, really exciting. And I'm thrilled that it's going to be something that makes the roads safer. But you are launching it soon and very soon. Exactly what do you think you need the most right now to get this effectively out into the community?
Probably the biggest thing at the moment that we're looking at is sponsorship of 2 cars, 2 vehicles for the roads, which the sponsorship will mean that they'll have their logos on the cars as they drive around, but we really need sponsorship of those cars to make it up and running.
And perhaps the best thing about that sponsorship is that it will be helping people be safer on the road because the cars are extremely safe. And of course, Kath, being a mother of 3, you wouldn't put your child in anything that wasn't safe, would you?
No, I wouldn't get into the car. But the cars that I have been in, the one in our neighbourhood, City of Port Phillip, it's brand new, I believe, and it's beautiful, beautiful to drive. Now,
talking about beautiful driving, as a mother, was there anything that your children said to you when they learned that you were associated with this program?
They told me I was nuts to get in the car with a total stranger, and you know, possibly put my life in danger. And I didn't see it that way, and it hasn't proved to be the case at all. I've loved every minute of it.
Now, part of those minutes have been training minutes, right?
Yes, they have, yeah.
What was it like for you trying to retrain your mind, as it were? Because you taught your kids how to drive.
I did.
How different was it with the LTP program?
Well, as I said earlier, my own children, when you get your own children in the car, you can kind of give them a bit of verbal bashing if they don't do the right thing. It's very hard to do that with a total stranger. But as you develop that relationship, and it does take a bit of time, you do use different, more subtle methods to get them to do what you want. It takes a little bit of time, and it takes investment in that person in the car, which is the best part of it. You have this wonderful relationship at the end of the day. But that's what I found. That was the most difficult part, because we all know how to drive, or we think we do.
Okay.
But I found that getting to know that little individual sitting next to me that has my life in her hands, I reminded her that on numerous occasions that she had my life in her hands.
Now, you mentioned the thinking that we know how to drive.
Yes.
Therese, as you are the coordinator and you're working with Skies, have you found yourself much more conscious about what it takes to learn how to drive and more aware of the road safety issues in Victoria?
I think it's something that the changes from the 1st of July 2007, huge changes have come in for learners and probationary licences. So I think that I got my licence, you know, years ago, and now
kids now are upset because you had it easier.
Yeah, and like, you know, and like even road laws have changed and things like that. So even get my head around the new changes and stuff, and that's the importance of the training that is provided by VicRoads to make sure that they are aware of the new rules and regulations.
Now, those rules and regulations, if I'm right, they can go to almost any major search engine and find out about them. Where would you recommend they go, if at all possible, to speed up the searches so they can learn about the rules?
I think the best place to go would be the VicRoads website, because that's where the rules are coming from. So be the most accurate, up-to-date, or otherwise going to VicRoads location, office.
Now, my nieces and nephews, they're not too excited about the whole 120 hours because they see it as an infringement upon their rights to fulfill that dream of driving. Have you found yourself, as a mother, thinking much more positively about the transition and experience that your children will have?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when I got my licence back in the late 70s, we would have had lucky to have 10 hours. Whatever we paid for, that was enough to get us our licence. My parents didn't get in the car. They certainly wouldn't allow me in the car with them. So I understood how important it was to teach my own children. And the experience was so rewarding, and my children said I was okay in the car, I was tolerable, that I decided to get on the program. And there are changes to the road rules, yes there are. And the refresher, being on the program, gave me an opportunity to learn what they are and also critique my own driving.
Okay. Were there any bad habits that you found?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now, bad habits, we sometimes don't even know that they're there. No. Do you find yourself, especially through the program, being thrilled that you are helping people who, one, wouldn't have this opportunity,
Absolutely.
but helping them become better drivers perhaps than even yourself when you started?
Oh yeah, look, I would say they would have an advantage even sometimes over my own children, because that 120 hours wasn't in when my children were getting their licence. They may have got that through me in the car over the 2-year period, but they may not have. But the fact that that now is mandatory, I think is fantastic.
Okay.
Because, and again, it encourages mum and dad to put, you know, the teenager behind the wheel on a long trip and share that driving with them. It just opens up a lot of avenues there.
And potentially, wouldn't you say it becomes a life experience that they get to share and really be appreciative and learn about each other as human beings as well?
Yeah, well, I had the benefit of having a lovely relationship with Steph now that she's got her licence. We continue to have that relationship, so we've stepped away from the program, and now we can, you know, there are certain boundaries that you have to adhere to with working, you know, when you've got children or young adults in the car, and you respect that, and that's what the program teaches you. But once you step away from that, you can continue that relationship as a mentor, and that's what we've done, Steph and I have done.
And now the true litmus. If they go through the program, would you give them your car?
Myself, for sure. Have you seen my car?
No, but hopefully.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, just the skills that they learn is a lot more than what I was taught, and a lot safer driver than what I would have been when I first left VicRoads after getting my licence.
So you said so far the car doesn't have a scratch on it in Geelong?
Yeah, no, apparently not, but each time we take it back, we check it out, because that's part of it. You go around the car with the learner driver and you check the car before you even get into it. That's part of the procedure. So we know where there are any dents, so we make sure we take it back without any.
Yeah, it really sounds like you've thought of almost everything from top to bottom, and how to integrate the student or the learner driver with the car itself and with the road structure and the rules of Victoria. Really quickly, is there any last thing you'd like to say before we have to sign off today?
I think if you are thinking about getting involved, definitely contact your local council, find out, ask to speak to their youth services, and find out if there is one happening in your local council.
Okay.
If you live in City of Port Phillip or City of Stonnington, contact SKYRoads or email me at Therese at skys.org.au.
Okay, and for you?
I would encourage people like myself to get involved. You only have to find an hour a week to help somebody, and it's, as I said, you make a commitment for as long as it takes for that young adult to get their licence, and you get a real good kick out of it personally.
Oh,
you do.
nice.
You get a great
And
reward.
if that hour helps save a life,
absolutely,
time well spent.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Kathy Rollins. Thank you so much, Therese Hall.
Thank you.
You've been watching NATCH on Channel 31. You can find us through any search engine, and we'll look forward to seeing you here on television again some afternoon in Melbourne. See you later. Good night.